walking in my purpose.
So today with us on Store Talk, we're happy and honored to have this special guest with us. This lady is definitely walking in her purpose on purpose, and here on Store Talk, that's definitely what we do. Great community asset, great leader, a coach. Not even for sports, but just for like your own personal life, like just a great mind and a great soul. And we wanted to bring her on to share with us what she have on her journey, and even to inspire the youth to know that they can do whatever they put their mind to, so they know that they can not be limited to their mindset, but they can have access to whatever they want to do. Today we have with us the one, the only Miss Regina Nicholson. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I bless.
Yeah,
I
can you
bless.
tell
I'm
us how
doing
your journey started as a personal trainer and even a health coach? What inspired you to take
okay.
the class?
Well, you know what? What when I think about it, what inspired me being an athlete, a student athlete. And so, but first I want to say thank you. Thank you for having me here. And I can be long-winded. I talk a lot, especially because I'm passionate about this and I really enjoy it. So I'm gonna try my best to stay on topic and things like that. But
Letting you.
yeah. When I think about just my journey when it comes to health and wellness and coaching and things like that, just being an athlete
Yeah,
myself and having being trained by my father when I was younger. And I was a camp kid, so I went to a lot of different camps. So there was a lot of people that poured into me and coached me along the way. And so that kind of just and kind of inspired me to continue on that journey. And I realized at one point I wanted to get into athletic training. And as so I stayed on that path. When I was at Scott, yeah, before I graduated my 12th grade year, I took an internship with the athletic trainer, and that was amazing. I learned so much. But what I really found out, it was something that I wanted to do. And I know when you're younger, sometimes you don't really know exactly what you want to do. And I knew I wanted to get into sports, and I knew I wanted to help people. And so as I continued and I played junior college basketball, and I started getting in the gym a little bit more and working at gyms. And I thought, wow, I love that the idea of personal training.
yeah,
So as I was studying, I stopped and I started personal training, and I love to be able to help people. And a lot of people I were helping, they weren't athletes, and so it was different. From my journey is different from a lot of people that I got to coach when it comes to like weight loss and building. They were never athletes, so just kind of instilling in them hard work and motivating them, things I learned. And so I really enjoyed doing that. I
yeah,
really enjoyed taking someone from the beginning and building them up and to the point where they can walk away and have confidence and to go and do it themselves. And
yeah.
so I did that for a while until I opened up my own small fitness studio. And that was a blast. I tell people I was like ignorance on fire. I ran for it and I did what I knew, and it was successful, and I loved it. I got to work with so many different people and help people accomplish their goals. And that was the start. I'm still going. It just never stops. Once you decide that you're going to be a coach, um, you just figure out ways where you can improve. And I slowly got into the mental health field, and that has expanded me. And now I'm a lot better coach from just jumping into the mental health field, because now I can see the whole person, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So how did your journey as an entrepreneur begin? Is that, like you said, you opened up a gym? Did you already want to do it? Was you eager? Is it something that just happened? Did you stumble on it? And can you give the youth some motivation and encouragement if they want to, thinking about starting their own entrepreneurship, whatever business and stuff that they might want to do?
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. Well, maybe as far as structurally. Now, you grew up, you see people working for themselves and, to little side jobs and side hustles and things like that. And I didn't know that I can actually make a living doing that, because he just was, taught go to school, get your good grades and get a good job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But one, I moved out to I was in Cleveland. I started to work around other entrepreneurs, and they were a lot older than me. And I think just the how I just built, I just wanted to be a part of that group. I love the fact that you can actually work for yourself and create your own schedule, and I thought that was really cool. And
Yeah.
so it sounds easy, but I went through it took a lot of work. I went through a journey of personal development. And I read different books. I hung around the gurus and things like that. And I just was a fast learner. I remember at one point, a mentor at the time said, "You be a copycat, but make sure you copy the right cat." So I was copying, you know, reading the books, and just put myself out there. And what I learned about being an entrepreneurship, how much you have to put yourself out there and be able to communicate and get rejected a lot. There's a lot of rejection that comes with that.
Yeah.
I, but to keep on going and keep on moving. And so, if I was to tell like a young person that was interested in entrepreneurship, find someone who's doing what you want to do on the level that they're doing it, you know, and because that they leave trails, there's things that you can pick up and learn. And here's the thing, that on the journey of entrepreneurship, there's ups and downs. So you learn from the ups and the downs.
Yeah.
I've learned from different things that people have done that I say, you know what, I would never do that, and things that I said, yeah, I like that. I want to incorporate that in. So I stood by a lot of people that were doing it. And through that time, people were really open to share and give me advice. And I went and I took it. And so I got you. Sometimes when you're so focused on your own goals and you just go and run, you look up and you're like, wow, you will arrive at a place,
Yeah.
where your goals have started being met. And yeah, but I say, don't ever doubt yourself, no matter how young um, you are. Uh, you can start at any level. There's entrepreneurs that are very young. We see, kid entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
see people starting entrepreneurship in their late and, as elderly. So it just kind of, when you decide that you want to do it, now it's all about building the right community around you so you can get it done. And then it's work. It's always a lot of work, you know. And as you go, you learn along the way. And so I thank God because he's been guiding me. And
Yeah.
so it ain't just me, because I realized I did a lot of stuff on my own without asking the Lord for help, and I got a lot of bruises. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But only the good thing is he never gonna leave you nor forsake you, and he's
that's
there. His
it.
mercy is, so sufficient to, to be there. Um I want to piggyback to something you said and just how you carry yourself and just the heart that you have inside you, the heart after God. Like, you got a love for people, helping and having a servitude heart. Where did that come from? Is it something that you seen growing up, or is it something that inside of you that you just knew to do, or know to be there, know to care, know to care about others' needs, sometimes even before yourself?
Mhm. That's a really good question because I spend a lot of time being very selfish. A lot of time being very selfish. And I say that because there's different things. I grew up the only child. I have an older sister, and but our distance at the time, I spent a lot of time by myself. Um, so yeah, I'm only child from my father, and I think that I got a lot of attention, and I was good at athletics and things like that. And so when you're younger, people are constantly telling you, go out there, get it, you go what you get what you need to do, get what you need to get, don't worry about anybody else, take care of yourself and things like that. All those things are nice, and I got into a place where it was all everything revolved around me, and especially and I found humbling. Lord humbled me in different ways, but yeah, it was about me, how I wanted things, how I saw myself when it comes to media, what are my goals, and making sure nothing's in the way, and very superficial at times. I want to look this way, I want to do, what it was. And the confidence, I had a lot of confidence, and it was a point where I realized I need to focus more on other people. And no, people probably wouldn't have recognized that, you know. But I noticed that I could be less self-involved,
Yeah.
and I focus more on other people. So now when you talk about like serving and where that come from, that was me asking the Lord, what are my gifts? What am I good at? What is it? And because I can't see it, and I'm letting myself get in the way. And people always tell me these great things about me, and I would think to myself, well, that's just me.
Mhm.
That's just how I was raised. And it wasn't until later on, like in my 30s, where I really, you know, realized like, hey, I'm a server. I love to serve people. But I had to ask, I had to have a conversation with the Lord, even though I walked in it, I didn't truly walk in it. And so when he showed me that, I was like, wow. I was like, well, how do I apply it to what I'm doing? Like, am I doing it right?
Yeah.
Because I still have some selfish ways about myself. And when I say selfish ways, I mean that I was getting in my own way because I didn't execute because I was worried about what I looked like. I was letting myself get in the way, and I realized that's selfish because it's not about you. It's about pouring in and planting seeds in other people. Now, there was a time where it was all that, and then just all about that, and then I got into a way, and the Lord humbled me. And then I was just like, oh, okay, I see. And so I started to ask, like, Lord, I want to be able to know, what is it? Why am I here? How can I? And I reached a plateau in my coaching because I didn't identify that. So, did I answer that question?
Yeah, yeah, Holy Spirit working because I got some other questions that I didn't even intend on asking, but it's going with what you saying. Yeah, you definitely asked because I was gonna come and say, well, what would you say to the youth who have hit that and they want to ask, how do they ask God? If they say, well, I want God to help me, what do I do? Just like they don't know nothing. What would you say to them about talking to
I would
God?
say, yeah, well, one thing is, so, the Lord deals with our heart. So he already know.
Yeah.
It's about surrender, just, he already know. And so, and you just talk to God like you talk to anyone else. He knows your heart, he knows what you're seeking. And so I really wanted to help others. I really wanted to know what was in the way. And once I identified what was in the way, I gave it to him. I'm like, Lord, please let it be your will and not mine. Because I don't like this feeling when it's all about me, you know. And so I'll just have the conversation. Just open up your mouth and say, lead me, guide me, you know, because when I do it, I know when I do it, it's gonna be a little raggedy. And I think it's gonna be nice and ooh, look at me, but it's nothing compared to what the Lord does. It's nothing. And the cool thing about that is you don't even know what it really looks like. Like, I don't really know exactly everything. The Lord gives me small glimpses of different things, and I move, but I try to move in good character. I make sure that I'm always working on my personal development. I'm checking my heart. And so if you want to grow and you start seeking, the Lord will show you. He shows me by sending people my way. He's so gentle, you know? And so it's not like, as humans we tend to I beat myself up about it, always. So I always tell people, you don't have to beat me up. I'm doing it already. And so the Lord is so gentle, and he shows me the way. And I just surrender that, and I just move. And I try to do the best that I can do. That's all you can do, is do the best that you can do. And he'll show you how to do it.
Yeah.
He'll show you. So it's
When
hard for
did
some people, right? Because
yeah.
I found it hard. I even had to surrender that control. Like, Lord, I was very controlling. I wanted things my way. And so I had to tell him, keep saying that, like, I see, help me. Like, you know me, you know my crazy self. Like,
Yeah.
so
So when did your walk get serious with God? Did you grow up in church or have you always had a relationship with him, or did trials and tribulations lead you to I surrender? Because when you said something about surrender, I could just think about the song, Lord, I surrender all. I surrender all. Normally time we go through different things and it just have you to say, Lord, not my will, but yours. Like I'm through. You can, because we fight it sometimes, but he always bring us back. So how was that walk and transition as far as for you?
mm. When I was younger, I was raised in church here and there. There was times where I didn't go. When you're a kid, it's different because I believe that your parents and people around you are your gods, until you have built a relationship. And so when I was younger, I had aunts that kept me in church. My mom would keep me in church, and I was in a choir and things, but I didn't completely understand. I knew that there was a God, and I believed in Jesus, and but I didn't read the Bible for my own self. When you're younger, you just kind of listen to people read to you, and you may read here and there, I didn't truly understand. But I knew I was covered. And as I got older and started to travel more, I believe I grew farther away, you know, um, from the Lord, and I started making other, different decisions, and you notice it. You notice when you're not building that relationship because things start to get a little chaotic,
Yeah.
and the Lord doesn't operate in chaos. And so once I start to understand that, and I always it didn't here's the thing too. It wasn't about knowing all the scripture and dive. It was just these subtle, the Lord moved my spirit when I was calling out for help.
Mm,
Because a lot of times I was just walking in ignorance, and I was bumping my head and I didn't like it. And so I started asking for help, and but I knew things that I was taught, like keeping good company around me, keeping good people around me. And so the Lord always sent good people, motivators, people similar to me. So when I was down and out, he always brought someone to comfort me, encourage me, or someone that inspired me and things like that. And I knew for sure I didn't know how to put language to it, but I knew I needed to put the right people around me. And so I did that until I was able to identify the cool things that other people's gifts and why they were around. Um, and as I grew old, now you talk about tribulations and trials and things. Um, I had some really hard times where I had to just call on the Lord. And they say, well, you call him when you trouble, you can call on the Lord anytime. We should do it every day, be grateful. But there was some times I was like, Lord, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's helped me through it, guiding me. But recently I had lost my parents.
mm,
And that there is how could I say this? If you had lost someone that like that close to you, that's such a tough experience. I lost my mom in February, uh, this year, and I lost my father 2 years before that, and my stepdad before that, a year before that. So there was just like some gut punches, and through it all, I was still trying to do my own thing, going against you know, what the Lord was telling me to do, because maybe I just um, I was had too much pride in the way. And so, but losing my parents and just recently losing my mom, it just showed me a lot. It showed me a lot that life is too short, and there were times where I was trying to force my way, and it wasn't working. You get exhausted, you're tired. Um, you have no clarity on anything, and I remember. And the Lord always answers my prayers. I remember just giving it to him, like, Lord, I just give it to you. I give my schedule. I have to give him my schedule because when things get tough, I'm very high functioning. So I'll work, 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 go, go, go. And And I had to say, just Lord, just take my schedule because I'm trying to do everything. And he sat me down and I got to spend time with my mom before she passed. And I'm very grateful because and you to experience that, to have that moment, because if I didn't have that moment, I don't know where my mind would be at. And so yeah, it's the littlest things. I even start saying, Lord, what I'm eating today? Like, what I'm gonna wear? You know, even when I had an idea that I was going to do it right, I just said, no, let me go ahead and ask and get some guidance. And so I had to just like a baby,
Yeah.
you know. And yeah, so that was tough for me. And now it changed my perspective a lot. And it showed me how much of a servant I am. And yeah, so it is, I'm a better person, even though it's tough and I'm on the better side of things. I see the person I am today, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And my mom knew the Lord, so she's good. She's at peace, and he showed me that. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
And he also says in his word that in our weakness, his strength was made whole to us,
Oh,
So that
mm,
definitely, helps during those times. What do
oh
you do
yes.
to balance being that, you going through different things, being that you're over stuff, you're an entrepreneur, what sport you coach?
So this will be my second year coaching basketball. This is going to be my
Okay.
second year going into athletics. And so this is a girls basketball. I'm a JV coach and assistant head coach. I also got the chance to coach track this year too.
Yeah.
And I'll be going into coaching volleyball.
Okay. So
So
how do you balance, with your schedule, with coaching, with all that to make sure that Regina is cool, that you're filled up, that you're
mhm,
strengthened, being that you pour out to so many people, but you still need to be covered, you still need to strengthen and make sure that you get back that energy that you have given out. So what do you do to balance that?
mhm. Prayer, prayer, trying to stay in my word. And it's easy to say because sometimes we are really emotional, we go off feelings. And so I have realized that in order for me to have that balance, I have to have a stronger prayer life. I have to be connected to the creator. I have to, because you're dealing with a lot of people and because the Lord's still grooming me. He working on me. So I often pray before I walk into school, Lord, put a guard over my tongue, Lord. Tell me how to walk, tell me what to say, how to work with these kids. How do I cover them today? Especially when I see the spirit that they're dealing with and knowing that it's something more than coaching you know and so I have to stay grounded. I have to continue to pray so I can go in and work with the kids. And when I'm not consistent with that, it shows. It just
Yeah.
shows. And so it just the Lord, he just shows me it's either this or it's that. And he makes it so simple and so clear. And since I have a passion for this and I want to get better, I'm always a student learning. That's just the way to go. It's kind of it's just there's no other options. You know, the path is set, and so I have to make sure I do that. And I have to be willing to let's see, pry it out the way and willing to learn. That's when you're coaching different sports and you're assisting too. It's always from the position of how can I serve, and because people's coaching styles are different.
Yeah.
How my coaching style had to change. My communication style had to change, and depending on what kid, what sport, uh, you got to be okay with being open to that. And so I had to just tell myself I had to pray, Lord, keep open my mind, soften my heart. You know, um, I want to be a student. And so, yeah, eating and sleeping and scheduling naps too. So people laugh when I say, I schedule a nap. I'm trying to tell you because I get up really early to start this thing, you know. And it's about if my health is not together, if I don't have my self-care together, I'm no good for anyone else.
Wow. What role do you believe mental health plays in overall physical health and fitness?
Everything. It's huge. It's huge. You don't have your mental, say if you don't have your mind, I thank the Lord for my mind. You know, everything else can go, but like I'm so happy I'm in the right state of mind. You know, it's going to determine how it's going to determine the path you're going to take. And when I think about like young people and their mental health and the learning themselves and their identity, who they are, and they start to see how people see them and things like that, and um the lack of confidence and stuff uh that plays at your mind. I think it's very important that we process what our thoughts and what we're going through as much as possible, as often as possible, with a safe community, a safe space.
Yeah.
And once we do that often, we can identify a lot of things that might be in the way, different barriers. So you can be the most healthiest, strongest, fastest person, but if you have mental blockage, you won't get far. Or well, you'll get far, but then you'll reach a cap. And some people don't understand how important it is to be in the right mental space. And so it plays a huge role, and a lot of it is overlooked. It's just overlooked. And I just think that we don't, a lot of kids or adults don't really know how to put language to how they're feeling and what they're experiencing. And so once we can process and work on that, when those thoughts come and things, we can talk about it, how we're feeling, what we're feeling, get to the root cause of different things, find out if that's a lie from the enemy, that's an attack, because we know who we are, right? And so once we learn that, then we can kind of navigate a little bit better through life and with our peers and things like that.
Yeah.
And I become a better coach, too.
Yeah. How do you view the relationship between identity and mental health?
Oh, how we see ourselves um, plays a lot of how we're gonna think, how we're gonna move.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of when we just go talk about young people, they're kind of just finding out who they are,
Yeah.
um, finding out, they're still growing and their brains are still developing as well, too. And so that exposure that they're exposed to plays a big role in how they think and how they process. And it can be on the very negative end, and it can be on the upside. And so I think that if I just had to talk about how how do we improve in that area, um, community is going to be key for kids because they still have guardians,
Yeah.
and so we can say a lot of different things and important to kids, but they have to go somewhere when we leave them. And we're not really sure what they're how they're being programmed, how they're being raised, what the people around there are telling them, um, you know, who they are about themselves. And so that's why just talking about it and actually asking these kids questions, so you just know what's going on in their head, and helping them put language to different things. Because if you don't know who you are, it becomes a hard road.
Yeah.
And you will spend life trying to find out, and then someone will tell you who. Someone might tell you something different, and you'll believe it.
What strategies would you recommend for young people to develop a strong sense of identity and self-worth?
Build a relationship with the Lord. And
Yeah.
here's the thing too. I think I've talked to kids about, just ask questions, and I will, as much as I want it, there's so many tools, but that is just the foundation. Okay. But if a kid is struggling with that, if that's not the place yet, personal development is key. You know, being able to see where your heart is, learning to love yourself. Okay, because a lot of it stems from not loving yourself. You know, so we are instructed to love ourselves, and so, as we love our neighbors as we love ourselves. So, and so we get it backwards. See, so we can't really love anyone else if we don't learn to love ourselves. And the Lord shows us how to do that. Because a lot of times we're harming ourselves from what we eat, what we expose our to stuff to, where we go, people we hang around. So I heard something really cool not too long ago about putting the right people on your bus. Um, a speaker that came into one of the camps, I can't think of his name right now, but he talked about surrounding yourself around quality people. If we could just start there, you know, but you gotta identify what quality people looks like. And
Yeah.
so as a young person, and so that's where coaches step in, right?
Yeah.
We're examples so they can see we love on them in a way by teaching them discipline and structure, right? We motivate, encouraging them in different ways. We help them see themselves better than who they are. We help them see to place no ceilings on their athleticism and their academics as well. And so I truly believe what helped me is and this is older me, building a stronger relationship with the Lord. And so I wouldn't say I will, if can go back, I wouldn't do that. But if a young person had to ask a question, if a young person was serious and they wanted to see how they can improve in those areas and they didn't know, it can just call out, Lord, how do I have a better relationship with you? Because I want to be better. I don't want to have any identity issues, and I want to love myself, and I want to be great. And so because it's not our plans, you know, he'll show a plan. He'll put you he'll put you in a place where you understand and you get it. And you'll know that it's not you. You'll know it's the Lord because there's no way you could have did it by yourself.
Yeah.
you know. And so uh get a coach. Whenever you feel like it's some blockage, find some help. So, find another human then, to help you get through it. Never try to go or at this thing alone. I've done that too, going at it alone by myself. And that's just extra work, just extra work. And it can be a bit selfish when you do it that way too. So,
Yeah. Have you did anything with the community, the collaboration with mental health as far as helping them or just even giving them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding on different things?
right now, because I've recently moved back to Ohio.
Okay.
Okay. I was in Louisiana and I did a little coaching there. And so coaching for the most part is just pouring into kids that I and if I see any kid, I'll go to the gym and I'll pull some kids over. I went to the gym today. I have a legacy program. It's called Legacy Stars. It's a family program, family mentoring program, where I take it, and since I am in case management as well, so I get my family together. We go do activities, and I just look to see if there's any resources that they need so I can provide that for them. I've done that in other places, and so the goal is to be able to pour into my family. So this recently, I have my younger cousins out, young boys out, and I took them to the gym and I coached them and we had lunch and we played and then I seen some other kids. They asked, can they join in? And I'm like, yeah, come on. You see so many kids eager to have a coach and be trained by someone. And so anytime I see a kid that can improve on their game, I'm offering tips. I'm pulling to the side, like, hey, are you open to learn something new? And for the most part, they're very open. And so I just kind of you just kind of it's a lifestyle and you just do it. The community involvement um event that I do on Zoom every third Saturday. It talks about mental health awareness, how we can be better with in the community and with our family, and have these conversations. Sometimes when a mental health, these conversations are not always the easiest to have
Yeah.
because it requires you to look at yourself and then see some flaws. And not many people want to look in the mirror and have their flaws exposed. So that can be tough. And or there might be someone dealing with a mental illness in the family, a lot of children's parents, different things. And so it's how do we talk to these people? How do we treat them? What does that look like? And so I connect with other healthcare professionals, and I host it, and I do interviews just like this, and we just have conversations, and I open up for people to join and to open up for Q&A and ask questions and or share stories, and we grow from there. And what I really realize, though, when I'm talking about this legacy program is if you start home, right, you start in your own home, then you'll be stronger for the community. It's easy to run away from home, right, and go help others. But if you look around, within in your family with your wife and kids, and you look around and say, okay, it's some work to be done. I always say start home,
Yeah.
start writing your, and then now you become better. You have uh, little fighters going out being better for the community.
Yeah.
And it's good practice because it's your family. And so if you can talk to your family and help them, it makes it easier going out and help other people. So, right, it's just a lifestyle for me, and it just comes natural. And that's why I know I'm in the right place. So I'm always just looking around and saying, what can I do to improve whatever's around me or whoever is around me? And I just go from there.
Yeah. I got two questions. The first one is, what year you graduated? What junior college did you play for?
Okay. I graduated in 2006,
Okay.
from Toledo Scott. And I went on to Cleveland. I was in Menor, Ohio. I went to Lakeland Community College.
Okay, I'm hip
Um,
to that.
And then I actually transferred and ended up playing at Tri-C in Cleveland there, junior college. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're a baller. You're a baller.
I love it. You still got it. I still play. It was so funny. I'm an athlete at heart. Until I cannot do it anymore, I will do it. And so I'm up training at in the morning, 5 a.m. I get ready, get to the gym by 6, and I'm training like a maniac. And I do it all. The kids may laugh, but I do it to keep up with them because I like to compete. So I go out there. I like to play with the young boys. And it's a huge difference. When you're in your 30s, you don't just bounce back. You need it doesn't work like that. And I always thought that I would just get up and bounce back. And it doesn't. And so I have to train extra hard to keep up and play with the young kids because I just love it. And it keeps me in shape, keeps me going. Uh but yeah, I still train, I still play, I still run, uh and I'm a lot stronger and than I was. And so there's your game is funner now. It's a lot, it's a lot, it's it's very interesting when you've got developed the muscle, that you didn't have when you're a young athlete, and you're able to do a lot of different things and incorporate a lot of moves into your game because you reached a place physically. And so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, yeah. Last few questions. I'm gonna get you out of here. What do you have to offer for those who may be in need, and how can people follow you to get help or to get the resources that they may need? And kind of, talk about the resources that you offer.
Okay. When it comes to just uh, so I'll break it down when it comes to training, coaching, health coaching, physical fitness. Just say you were an athlete, you were not an athlete, and you were interested in just maybe the basics, getting back into shape, weight loss, and or creating a healthier lifestyle. So I work with people like that. And my website, it's www.lifecoaching.com/Coach Gina. Okay. And I can send it to you. Maybe you can post it somewhere.
Yeah.
And and then my number, um, my email address. So I can be reached at lifestylecoaching.health@gmail.com. And I'm open if anyone had any questions after this. Um, and as far as coaching athletes and things, I since I coach during the season, I've been working just with the girls from the school and working with my family. But again, you can reach me there. A lot of my website has some information. You can check that out and contact me there.
Is it in person or virtual options?
Now, there's both options. Yeah,
Okay.
there's both options. When it comes to I love in person. Okay. I love to touch and feel and get all in there with people. I love that. I do virtual as well because I know that's what the people are comfortable with that. So I can either way. But I really love that personal coaching, personal training. I have programs we can sit and talk about what the needs are because a lot of it is just meeting people where they are. What are you looking for? And then we can go from there. But health coaching deals with a lot of I'm not ready to go to the gym yet. I got some barriers. I would like to talk to you, and you can help me get on that path to getting to conditioning. Fitness coaching and group fitness coaching, some person that they're ready and they want to get into it. Okay, we can find out what plan works for you. We can do that virtual or in person. When it comes to athletics, again, I have to fit in time for that because I'm in season and I can only do so much. But if a parent wanted some one-on-one time, and we can talk about what we can do there because here in Toledo, I don't have my own studio. So there'll be places that whoever, like I go to the YMCA a lot. I love that place. So a lot of students have Y memberships, or again, I have access to the school when we have access. So we can always try to arrange different things like that. And a lot of other places open up the stuff for students. So there's always, I'm very, we can work in a box. I don't need a lot of space at all. I don't make this thing hard. I done work with so many different people. I make it very simple, and I can give you a great workout, great training, and great tips. It don't take that much, and I always tell people don't overthink it at all. We can get this work done anywhere. So you can go on my website, check that out. What else did I answer all those questions? I'm still building my platform again. Like I told you, I just moved back and getting the feel of being back home and plugging into the community. And I'm excited about it. And I've been received pretty well coming back home, and I love it. And so I'm just open to do more. I'm open to connect with more people. And again, a lot of it is where the Lord tell me how we moving. And so I'm very enthusiastic and I want to go, go, go. And sometimes he showed me like it's not time for that yet. And so so I just sit back and I say, okay, Lord, and I'll wait.
Yeah. Um, what is purpose, and can you explain to the youth how they could go about, figuring out what their purpose, or even walk on the verge of, getting to their purpose?
Mhm. I'll be transparent for me. I'll talk about me as far as like how I had to ask too.
Okay.
Did you hear this? Walking your purpose. Do you hear it a lot? Everyone's talking about it. And so I was always, even though I've done a lot of things and worked with a lot of people, I wanted to know, like, am I in the right place? What does purpose look like? And as I started to grow and I understand purpose looks like very narrow. It looks like this. And so when it comes to coaching, I've got away from coaching. I've got away from working out and things, and it always came back you know it always came back. And the passion and the fullness I got from doing it, and I said, you know what, this is I'm going to be a coach. For the rest of my life I'm going to be coaching, but I just didn't know how I was going to do this thing. And so now I'm seeing how the Lord is placing me and how to do it. But it took some time. It took some patience, being me patient with myself and learning more about myself, and it starts to kind of unfold. And it it's you know it because it always comes back to you. It always the same thing. It lines right back up. Whatever when you go try to do something else, it tugs on your heart. And so and sometimes you gotta be in a quiet space, and you gotta get to a point where you clean out the junk so you can actually hear how Lord is moving you. And it's not never loud, it's very soft and
Mm.
subtle, quiet voice. And not even say a voice, it's a nudge, like a nudge. That's how he speaks to me. And I had to slow down to hear.
Yeah.
And so when you get in your purpose, a lot of things can't get in the way. You start just doing things differently. You don't do the same stuff that you used to do. You realize, start seeing that that's in the way, and of me getting this done. I'm happier here. I feel more fulfilled in this place. And so it's good. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
It's not a selfish place. And so when you start to identify those things, I'm a better person. Everyone's enjoying, I'm helping people. It's a win-win. We're all winning together. It's less stress. It's not forceful. You're not forcing a puzzle piece into something. It just flows. Um, you start to identify like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. And now staying on that path, those are other journeys and things that, you know, whole other talks. We're gonna have a part two. But
Definitely. And I say normally stride, not strive. People say I'm a strive, STRIVE. I say
mm,
stride, STRIDE, meaning taking intentional steps. If you fall down, get back up, but get on that path. Like when you said like this narrow, because you
mhm.
intentionally going there, you know the direction you aiming, and you walking in that direction by just being intentional.
That's it. You said it right there.
Yeah.
Intentional. Yeah,
Yeah.
intentional and doing the best you can do with what you got. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Whatever comes to your heart, speak something positive in closing to the youth.
Uh to the youth out there, love yourself, have fun. Most importantly, have fun, and choose the right people, learn about community. And because when you look up, life hits, young people, older, and it's going to keep on blowing. I've heard this, my mentor said, the wind blows on us all, so you got to always be willing to set a better sail. And so at times when I was down, I looked up and I had good quality people around me, and until I was able to build back up. And so, and be that for the next person, be that encourager, that positive person, that motivator. Learn how to be a leader, and cheer for other people. Because people's time come here and there, and you may have a time where you're not in the place you want to be. But if you look up and you're cheering for other people, things don't change. Things kind of stay the same. Your time comes, your season comes. So have fun, enjoy what you do, and learn to love yourself. So,
Yeah. Well, we thank you for coming on here. I pray that God continues to give you strength, He builds you up, and that He expands your capacity to be able to handle different things that you do, to be able to endure. I pray that He gives you peace in your mind, the peace that passes all understanding. May He
yes.
comfort you, may He be with you during those difficult times, those difficult moments. May He get you through it, and may you continue to lead. May your steps be ordered by Him. May you have favor for whoever you be around. May it be intentional. The people that you need to be around, may they be around you to get what you have to give to them through what God's given you to say and speak and build with them. And I just thank you for this time and this opportunity.
Amen. Yes. Thank you too. I appreciate you so much. Until next time.